Season 2 of Warrior Nun. We are here. We are queer. What's the thing Christina said?
And in the clear.
We're clear.
And we're in the clear. Yes. We're here, we're queer, and in the clear. Thank you, Christina. Which is appropriate for this episode. Because we're going to finally talk about Warrior Nun Season 2 after having watched it and not just speculating wildly like we did in our last Warrior Nun episode.
Let's
Which, by the way,
we've watched it several times.
We have, but also our dance scene prediction did not come true. For anyone that was surprised by that.
Well, no, because we had Mary in it.
We had a whole thing with Camilla being drunk in the corner, and none of it came true. But that's fine.
I really wish we could have seen. Well,
it is sad.
Camilla was in a corner of some sorts with her head down.
Yes, we'll get to that scene.
Oh my god! Did you just describe it that way?
That scene was interesting, but also the dance scene we did get was spectacular, and I'm sure we'll be in that scene for like at least 30 minutes. So, shall we dive into episode 1, Galatians 6, 4-5?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
First thing I want to say, and I know that this is the first thing any of us thought, or that Theora said in our reactions, was we're back with the voiceovers.
I know. Like, that's literally my first note. Because, of course, we're starting with the voiceover.
I literally wrote in mine, we start with Ava voiceover, of course.
Of course.
And she still doesn't know what happened.
Oh my god. The way she starts it, too, she's like, do you want to know what happened? I don't fucking know what happened. It's like, girl, it's been 2 years. We've been waiting 2 years to know what happened. And what do you mean you don't know? You were there. So we'll never know.
Yeah, I guess not. But
what's the point of this voiceover then? You're telling us nothing.
But hey, she learned how to swim.
She did. She did.
And here's my take on that. Her learning, Beatrice taught her to swim is what happened.
Yes.
Can I have those scenes, please?
Please, yes.
Yes, absolutely. I need Beatrice teaching Ava how to swim because we know that's what happened since they are together in this scenario. By together, I mean off in Switzerland, because they tell us in the next scene that Ava is in Switzerland, and then we see Beatrice later.
Yeah. So to go back to the pool thing, not the fanfic version, which whoever's the hero that's going to write that, please send it to us.
Please.
But so Ava's swimming in the pools. So I want to talk about the line she says where she reveals that. She says, basically, she's like, I told JC I would learn how to swim, and I did. And she's like proud of herself. And then says, the line that kills me, still, there's 1,000 items left on my life to-do list, but you can't check them off if you're dead. Which, foreshadowing, first of all, that hurts. But also, I think this was a good intro to we also get confirmation that there has been a 2-month time jump in this little scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think this
they
is
told
really...
us with After Effects.
What? Oh, with the words? Thank you, Kaitlynn. I think that this line she says, we're like, I'm checking things off my to-do list kind of thing, is a good indicator of Ava's state of mind 2 months later, where she's very much like carpe diem, I'm living in the moment, which I think is really important because it's the complete opposite of her counterpart Beatrice when it comes to state of mind. So Ava like is growing basically and like is still in that thing where she's like she's getting to live her life despite like the situation, which I think is really important. So it's like Ava seems like in a better place mentally when we like time jump 2 months later. So I like that line. I hate it for the foreshadowing, but also like I think it's an important indicator of where Ava's at.
Yes, it is. I agree, but go ahead, Kaitlynn.
I have one question, and it's going to be a stupid one.
No, there
it's about something she says.
Okay.
So she said the devil kicked her ass.
Yeah.
Is Adriel the devil officially? Is Adriel an angel? I'm really confused.
No one knows what Adriel is. That's the problem. they referred
Adriel's
to him.
a douche.
That's correct.
Correct.
They referred to him as a devil in the last season because that's the terminology that they have for really, really bad things that can do kind of weird supernatural crap.
Exactly.
So the whole point of a lot of this season is that no one knows what Adriel actually is.
Yeah.
And the, like, I guess the way that people process things is that we put our own experiences and our own knowledge onto a situation so that we can categorize it. And so in these people's minds, anyone who grew up in the Christian church and the Catholic church in particular here will equate, oh, this person looks like this, is doing this, et cetera, et cetera. They could be an angel. So Adriel, when he came over from the other dimension, took that and ran with it. So he said, okay, well, you're categorizing me in this way, so I'm going to play into that. So the whole time, Adriel is playing into the angel facade and using the religion and history of Christianity to his advantage. So basically, a lot of the characters spend a lot of time thinking about, is Adriel a real angel? And you see that in Beatrice's crisis of faith later on. But
Yeah.
that's basically it. Nobody knows what Adriel is. Adriel's using Christianity to his own advantage by saying, hey, I'm an angel. I'm here for saving everybody. Follow me.
Yeah, and he
And
in season 1, he also like at the I think the finale or he says it explicitly where he's like, you know, where Ava's like, "Are you an angel?" And he's like, "If that's what you want to call me, that helps you
Exactly.
understand this, like sure." And to Bree's point, basically when Ava says that, the devil kicked my ass. She's also indicating that like I no longer think this is a good guy anymore. Like we spent all of season 1 talking about him in this angel legend. I understand he's not what he seems to be. And so it indicates that like they're against him
right.
too. So it serves that kind of purpose. But it's like the word devil, it's like language we understand because of our experience, like Bree said, basically. We don't have the language for what Adriel is because we don't really know what he is. We don't know enough about that other dimension to label him appropriately, basically. So we're using the language we know. He's a guy with powers doing bad things. Devil.
And they never call him the devil.
Correct. They call him a demon
because
or yeah.
That would be different. So
Correct.
we're just calling him a devil.
No, Ava says the devil kicked my ass.
Well, I just mean like no one actually
the Pope doesn't call him the devil.
Yeah.
No one calls him Satan specifically.
Okay.
That is her language to describe the situation, basically.
Because we know Ava has sort of a flippant type of language anyway. So she's just saying the devil kicked my ass.
Yeah, she's being facetious is what she's doing.
Precisely. Which is most of her dialogue anyway.
Exactly. Where is Ava appropriate dialogue? 100%. Yeah.
Me and Ava.
She's a 13-year-old boy at heart.
Unless I have to actually focus on talking about something.
So that's where we're set up. 2 months later, Adriel's the bad guy from our protagonist's point of view. And they're chilling in Switzerland. So they got to Switzerland from Rome, which is where the finale left us 2 months later. And what are they doing in Switzerland, Bree?
So, well, apart from sharing a bed,
we'll get to that.
Ava's walking along and you see these people that are handing out leaflets, and it turns out they're Adriel's followers. So we see that Adriel's gathering a bunch of folks. And what Beatrice and Ava have been doing is working in a bar, which is adorable, and I love it.
Yes.
Ava as a bartender, A+. Good deal. I'm here for that. So
talk about her signature drink, though.
Yes.
Because I think this is hilarious. Because, like, think about it. How on earth does Ava have bartending experience? She spent her entire life in an orphanage. So she's like, I assume she watched TV and like figured it out because she's like crafty, right? But she says in a voiceover, of course, that her like signature drink is called the Cuba Libre, which is literally a rum and coke with lime. So I love that that's her drink. It's like nothing fancy. It's just like
Exactly.
it makes these 3 ingredients, which
Okay.
is so I love it.
Let's be real. She saw stuff on TV
Yes.
and is copying it. But also, Beatrice is the one that did the research and was like, Ava, okay, so this is like chemistry. And then Ava's like, I'm sorry, chemistry what? And Beatrice is like, you have to combine these in the perfect amounts to make, the drink. And she's like, rum and coke.
Right. I'll throw in some ice.
I
And then
just
somebody
picture
else is
her.
probably like, Cuba Libre. And she's like, yeah, that's what this is. I love it.
I picture her watching a lot of Food Network.
I can see that.
Because, like, when you watch that stuff, you feel like, oh, yeah, I could definitely do all of that.
That's definitely Ava. She has that energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's her
would
top
watch.
trait. She's like, I can do that. Anything.
Yeah.
Literally anything on television. She can do that.
I'm like, you're not. What was
She also thinks she's a doctor because she tied up Mary's legs. She's like, how'd you learn to do this? I watched
exactly.
a lot of TV.
Yeah.
Sounds like something I would say.
Dude,
which
she
is
totally
funny.
She projects it onto Beatrice later. She's like, she watches a lot of TV. I'm like, oh, that's what you've been doing.
Brain cell.
Brain cell sharing.
Fun
fact, apparently me and Bree do this a lot, and it gets worse when we're in person. So if you want to watch us share the brain cell, go watch our reaction videos to
Yeah, it happens.
Kaitlynn rolls.
I get it sometimes.
I just also want to point out that when I'm quiet, it's because Theora is saying everything that's in my head out loud. So we're in this bar, and there are some people in there chatting about Adriel and the Vatican conspiracy. One of the girls is a big fan of Adriel, apparently, and then we get this guy show up who's blonde and supposedly cute. Okay, sure.
I have a note for this one when you're done.
His name's Miguel, and he turns up to ruin the Adriel party and get some water because that's his drink. So he also looks like he wants an Ava sandwich, which is not on the menu. Thank you very much.
No.
It starts
the menu.
Yeah. And
she
he starts
the special free. It's not the special.
It's not on the menu.
Not the special.
No. And he starts intriguing her with all this anti-Adriel talk before the other bartender comes and says that the boss wants to talk to her. So, Kaitlynn, tell us what your note is.
Well, I have two. The more tame one says, for someone locked in a room all her life, she does well with people. And then the other one is, Miguel looks like a douche face.
Poor Miguel.
He doesn't look like a douche face. Maybe, yeah, okay, I'll take that. Your opinions are valid, for sure. Yeah, Ava is a surprisingly good people. I feel like it's just because she is an extrovert type of person, and so like being locked in the orphanage must have been so traumatizing from that point of view, because extroverts do not do well when they cannot talk to people. So like the boy she shared the room with probably got his ear chatted off by Ava because she needs to talk. And so now I feel like this is, again, Carpe Diem Ava, where she's like, yay, people, I can talk to them. And so she's just naturally a people person, I think, because she's naturally extroverted.
She's naturally charming.
She's naturally charming. And I think that's why her and Beatrice like balance each other out, because Beatrice is like naturally introverted. So like they bring qualities out in each other, which is really awesome. So yeah, she's somebody who would make a good bartender because she genuinely enjoys talking to people. And like you can tell from the dialogue in this scene that like these are like kind of like quote unquote regulars. They knew her by name. And they included her in their conversation. So like she's, a good bartender.
She's known.
She is known. One thing I want to note about the Miguel stuff. First of all, his name. The name Miguel is just like a Spanish version of the word Michael. So like there's that. And then second of all, which clever. And second of all, I like his the thing I like about him here is he has the dialogue where he draws the parallels between what's happening with Adriel's cult of fanatics and how that's creeping into fascism, because that's real life and relevant to now. So whoever wrote this whole stuff to like kind of like depict it as like things that happen in real life is how it starts. Kudos, because that was really great dialogue and I love it. And one last thing about this scene that's not about Miguel. But okay, when we first come in the bar, one of the dudes is bragging about how he can outdrink the Pope. Who are these patrons? They're so weird. Who does this?
They are weird.
It's
They're
so
Irish. It's the Irish dude. And
Irish
I'm like,
dude. So I
you're Irish. Of course you can outdrink the Pope.
What does him being the Pope have to do with it? Who talks about outdrinking the Pope? It's such weird dialogue, but it's kind of funny.
I like it. It's kind of cute. And, so
we also learned in the scene, last thing, sorry, I forgot. Ava speaks German. When the fuck did she learn how to speak German?
Ava speaks a lot of things, apparently. Duolingo. There you go.
How was she doing Duolingo? She had no access to her arms, and she learned.
No. We mean now.
No, recently. All right. Yeah, she doesn't miss a day. She can't break her streak.
She can't, and also Beatrice is proud of her.
Yeah, it's like they do it together. That's their bonding time. And Beatrice gets so excited and happy. She's like, Duolingo time. All right,
Beatrice knows the languages.
Exactly.
So. Yeah, but she likes to impart her knowledge onto Ava.
That's what I'm saying. Like she's tutoring
cultivating
her.
Ava's knowledge. And so that makes her very happy.
Yeah.
It is their downtime. I like this. This should be in a fic too. Now we're just plotting fics all over the place.
Yeah.
You guys have been plotting one of these. I'm just waiting for you to write it.
Yeah. Maybe when life doesn't
kick us in the ass.
Face. Yeah.
Yeah.
So guess what? We all know what's going to happen next because who is going to be the boss? Who would be the boss? The boss is Beatrice. So Beatrice calls her in there to be like, hey, will you stop chatting everybody up when they're talking about Adriel and like pour more drinks? Like, can you not just like blow our cover? Is basically Beatrice's theme for this entire time that they're in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Because Ava's so into talking to everyone that Beatrice is just kind of always there going, is she gonna say something she shouldn't say?
Right.
So Ava tells her not to be so perfect all the time. Bye, Kaitlynn. Because being perfect all the time isn't discreet either, is basically the point she's making. So don't be so perfect. And Beatrice is just kind of like in her feels. And then she's like mom. She's been being mom, basically, is what Ava feels like. And so she ends up kissing her on the cheek. And then Beatrice sighs because she's having gay feelings and frustration about Ava being, Ava, basically, not listening to her, really, which is never going to happen. I mean, she'll listen to you to a point, but she's going to Ava. Ava's got Ava.
Ava's got Ava.
I love that scene.
I wrote that Beatrice is gay. And they are so cute together.
This is true.
The extent of my notes.
I'd also like to point out that Hans comes up, the other bartender, in the middle of that, and they have that look back and forth. And Beatrice is like, the glance. And she's like, what was that about? And you're like, nothing.
The glance is a glance.
Basically, I feel like Beatrice is coming from two directions here. It's like, so what have you been talking to Hans about? Number one. And number two, does Hans have a thing for you? Number three, does he know something that he shouldn't? So, and Ava's just like, dude, you became the boss in 1 month. He's been here for 3 years. What do you expect? Like,
yeah. So this scene, there's a lot to unpack in this scene. So first of all, throughout basically the first couple of episodes, Beatrice very much shows us that one of the things she's afraid of a lot of things in starting season 2. One of them is them being outed. So on their 2-month hiatus after they left Rome, they end up in Switzerland. Basically, they're undercover is what's happening. And so Beatrice initially calls her up because she's like, hey, you're on the Adriel topic. We can't get involved with that because if you're outed, they're going to come after you because you have the halo and all that stuff. So she's like, using Beatrice tactics of being like, this is about the mission. I called you up here because it's about the mission. It's about the mission. And Ava like is like, yeah, I was being a bartender, whatever. Then Hans comes up. Then Beatrice's actual ulterior motive comes out where she's like straight up jealous because Beatrice did not call Ava up here until the blonde dude started talking to her. So Beatrice also like is showing her hand that she has gay feelings here and starts being like, how dare you glance at men, basically. And Ava's like, I'm being a bartender. What is wrong with you? And you hit the nail on the head here where you said, where Ava rationalizes, she's like, well, I think the other coworker who's been here for 3 years is upset that you're the boss after like a month. So Beatrice has this kind of double standard where she's basically telling Ava, hey, you need to like lay low with the Halo stuff and we can't jump into fights. And we need to like not look like we're kick-ass super spies. But Ava's like, hey, you're and Beatrice, her defense is like, it's not my fault. I'm super organized. And it was like, it kind of is because that's one of your skills. And you're just blatantly showing off your skills that you're not just some rando who came off the street to work in a bar because they needed to make rent. Like, you're obviously more valuable in that. And that shows in this promotion. So, like, there's a double standard here that Beatrice isn't really acknowledging in terms of, like, them being covert.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think because Beatrice is always thinking about what Ava's doing.
Well, also the other piece here. So in the voiceover in the beginning, we saw Ava's mindset is I'm living in the moment despite all of this stuff. Beatrice is showing you with this promotion thing that she's still hiding behind her skills right now. That's what this really is. Like, she's still doing it. That's her default. And so while Beatrice is on, we mentioned it in the other season, but like Beatrice is on some journey to like becoming who she is. She's still on the journey. So she hasn't moved past the hiding behind her skills stuff. That's how she got the promotion. Whereas Ava's in the bar being her chatty, like charming self, because that's her default, right? And that makes her a good bartender. But like Beatrice is like, I don't know how to do any of that. I'm just going to use my skills of being good at management and strategizing, and hence the promotion. So they both have a point here. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that this whole season we get them little by little learning, and I feel like they exchange so much kind of in a way that helps them both internally grow.
Yeah. No, that is highlighted in Ava's line. You don't have to be so perfect all the time, because the difference now between when Beatrice was in the convent and just hiding behind her skills is right now she has somebody who sees through all that stuff and like can actually see her beneath all the emotional armor she's put up. And so what Ava is saying with this line is like, hey, you don't have to be super nun right now. You can just be you. Like, we're just two women working in a bar. Like, just be you. That's fine. And the way she like delivers it is like a very like supportive ICU kind of like delivery.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, so she's like, hey, like, I see you. I like you. Just be you. Like, it's fine. You don't have to be Superwoman right now. Like, there is no expectations in this bar that you're trying to meet, because that's where Beatrice's mind always goes. There's like, I have to achieve things. I have to be at the top of my game. It was like, we're in a bar. Nobody gives a shit. Hans doesn't give a fuck. Like, just be you. Like, you're great. Be you. And so that dynamic is still happening. Like, that started kind of like when in season 1 when they were getting like to know each other a lot better and like seeing past each other's like trauma and stuff. And Ava was always the one who's like, I see you. You're great. Just be you. So she's still doing
what you
that.
are is beautiful.
What you are is exactly. And so Ava is still in the position of like validating Beatrice for just being her, but Beatrice is still reflexively hiding herself. So this scene is establishing where they're still at, because to Beatrice, acceptance is like skills, you know? So that's where they're at. And then I also have to comment that when Ava says this, Beatrice immediately gets flustered because girl doesn't know how to take compliment.
Yeah.
Like, no idea. But, and so she changes the topic immediately from this, and poor Ava's like, damn. Yeah.
I also think that Beatrice doesn't know how to take Ava kissing her on the cheek.
That too. She has no idea. No idea. And
So, what do you
yeah.
think the level is of Beatrice's realization about her feels at this juncture?
Yeah, that is an excellent point. I think Beatrice knows she has feelings, but is
Mhm.
bottling them up because there's scenes later that we'll get into that I think indicate that she's like is acknowledging them to herself, but like doesn't know how to act on, like has no idea. Because when Ava compliments her here, when she does the cheek kiss thing, Beatrice's response is to freeze. She doesn't know what to. She doesn't know what to. She's not a like Ava's love language is like emotional touch to like in a like touch it like physical touch. That's not Beatrice. Beatrice like I don't know what to do with this. Remember the hug, their first hug, where she's like,
Yeah, what is happening?
what is happening?
Okay, I'll give in to this.
Right. I don't think she hates it. I think she doesn't know how to reconcile how I feel with how I act. She has no
Mhm.
idea how to do that. Whereas
I mean,
Ava's
not a puppy.
yeah, she's not. Ava's a puppy. She's
She's
like,
right.
I love you. I want to touch you all the time. Like,
Yeah.
Beatrice has no idea. She's like, what is happening? Like, she doesn't know how to like respond to any of this. So I think
Until she's not thinking.
We'll get to that. Yeah, she's overthinking. She's in her head too much. That's the problem.
Because all of the gay caresses on Ava's face were not thinking Beatrice.
Right, exactly. Her default is to be in her head, and she's in her head too much because she's having these feelings and doesn't know what to do with them. I assume she's never had them before, so she's like, okay, my mission is to see you through this thing, so I have to keep a clear head to do that. But now I'm having all these feelings that are fucking with my head. I can't have that. She doesn't know, like it's like a short circuiting thing where she's like, what do I do? And then Ava does stuff like kiss her and like touch her, and she's like, it short circuits everything for Beatrice. So
Yep.
I think she's at the I have feelings stage, but I don't know what to do with these feelings because there's conflict of interest happening here for me, and it's just getting her in her head too much.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also think the only other person that's ever seen through Beatrice the way that Ava does, and
Mary.
maybe not even quite the way Ava does, is Camilla. So,
I mean, Camilla ship captain. I feel like Mary saw it too.
well, yeah, Mary saw it, but Mary, I don't think would comment on it the way that Camilla did.
No,
because Camilla was all about calling Beatrice out
in a like a supportive, subtle way where she's like, "Hey,
Exactly.
read this book chapter together."
Yeah.
Whereas like Mary in the church was like, "Oh, is this the bullshit you're spinning for why you became a nun?" Mm-hmm, sure, girl. She's too blunt, but Camilla's like the wing woman, kind of friend, you know. But yeah.
Well,
but yeah.
Do you guys have anything else to say about this particular scene of cuteness?
No, I think I think we said everything. It's a good scene. It sets up where they are mentally and like with each other. And
Absolutely.
also, last thing I have to say, okay, Ava, why do you have to call her mother? Don't do that. That line, I was like, why are you saying this? And she saved it with the cheek kiss, but like, because that's confusing to Beatrice. She's like, wait, what?
No, but
are we not flirting? What is this? Why are you calling me mother? It's confusing.
Thing is, I would totally do that. So just as a throwaway comment.
So,
hey, anyway. Mom, and then you're like, implications. Damn, I wish I hadn't said that.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, fuck. I'm gonna do this and say, no, I won't use my words right now. I'm just gonna kiss your cheek.
Yeah, I'll just kiss her cheek because she's cute. Even though Ava, I don't think Ava's had her realization yet.
She has not, but I think she obviously acknowledges her feelings a little bit. Or they come out, even if she's not acknowledging that.
They come out, but she's not purposefully showing them or anything or thinking on them. All right, so from here, she leaves the bar and makes a boo-boo.
Well, give somebody else a boo-boo.
She gets very upset with one of the leaflet fellows that's handing out all of the fucking Adriel propaganda, and Halo pushes him, I guess, into this like crazy flip into a wall, and he falls down and shit, and it's not a good look for the middle of, like, why is this tiny human able to throw this guy this far or push him that far? So yeah, not so discreet, Ava.
Yeah, I was out in the middle of the street too. So
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the street and then using the halo, not great. But I think the takeaway from this scene really is they're in hiding, but the whole Adriel stuff is really getting to her because the dude says some line to her where the thing that pushes her to like get emotional and like attack him is he basically says, "You can't run from Adriel's judgment." And
Mm-hmm.
Ava's like, "I'm not running." And that's when she like, so you get the sense that like being in hiding and not confronting Adriel is the sore spot
Driving her
for
insane.
it's driving her insane. Yeah. So it's a like a moment of like character growth for Ava too, because like season one Ava would have been like, "I'm gone, bye." But here you can tell she's very restless and is like wants to prove herself or like redeem herself in kind of some way. So like Ava has like had some character growth that has stuck with her to where we're like starting with her again.
I also kind of want to know. uh, This is sort of a long shot kind of thing, but I want to know if the halo affects her capacity to contain her emotions in any way. So, all of that power being in her body, I wonder if it makes it harder for her or if she's just naturally having this, because it just feels like the things that she's doing to vent her frustration are a little more extreme than what one would usually do
Yeah.
in public, and she hasn't had a chance to develop any kind of ways to deal with her emotions being, the way that she was her whole life. However, I just wonder if the halo does affect her ability to regulate her emotions, because that would be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely a question. I mean, aside from Ava, the other warrior nuns that we get a little bit more of a glimpse into as to their emotional state, mental state, leadership states are Mother Superior and
Shannon.
Shannon. From Shannon, it looks like no, it doesn't really affect her emotions, but Mother Superior maybe because we get her backstory through a scene with Shannon later, where yeah, like her emotional connection to physical violence could have possibly been influenced by the halo to like a more extreme degree, which is what you're saying. So it's possible. Like how much is like the halo affecting Ava and vice versa, kind of thing.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I think it's also specific to the person that's carrying the halo at the time, whatever their
probably.
strengths and weaknesses are.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
I think, sorry, there was a cat situation. I think
Mm.
Shannon had a unique ability inherently to just be that person that was
Yeah.
always kind of there and calm in those situations. So,
Yeah.
like, she was probably the best person to have the halo.
Correct. That is how they paint her. She was like the
Yeah.
ideal person. So she probably had the ideal like centering when it comes to mental, emotional, soul stuff. But yeah,
And
it
then
seems like
Vincent
maybe
had
it's
to go and be a fuckhead.
oh, I hate him so much. But yeah, it seems like Mother Superior and Ava leaned more towards the anger, violence route. So yeah, maybe
Yeah.
valid question.
Well, anyway,
Question
she
for
sends that
Simon.
dude flying, and then we fly. We leave Switzerland and fly over these beautiful mountains with set to the song Magic Bomb. It's like one of the most annoyingly catchy TikTok songs ever,
Caitlin
period.
had some feelings
That's
about
what it's
this.
called?
I
Yeah,
didn't even know
Magic
it had a
Bomb.
name.
Yeah.
I just called it the TikTok song.
Yeah, it's Magic Bomb. So
The more you learn, the
the
more you know.
important thing is that we see Camilla for the first time this season, and she has like a harem of nuns gathered around her, and
She
she's
sure
giving them
does.
a TikTok tutorial.
Well, she's the tech whiz, and she's teaching her women how to make TikToks.
I'm like, what? What is
What
it?
is
Why is it
this?
necessary for these nuns to learn how TikTok? I love it. I mean, get more nuns on TikTok. Let's do it.
Well, I mean, one of the things that's interesting to think about, and it's kind of brought up subtly a few times in the show, is like, okay, if all this stuff went down, like with an angel coming to Earth, in the era of like internet and social media, there would be a blending of those things. So it is interesting to see like modern technology in the hands of like people with medieval practices, which is what the scene
Which,
is.
yeah, it's like
I'm
this
pretty
It's
part.
sure
interesting.
I've seen a nun on TikTok.
Right.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
I
not
have too.
like
I,
unfathomable. It's just like
no,
Really?
And I think it's also pointing out the point that our kind of conflict is still science / technology / practices of now versus religious doctrine and theology.
Yeah, especially when like the outfits they're wearing, they are medieval garb. Like that is like, yeah. So yeah,
it's
it is
the
like,
contrast that we're after.
right. Exactly.
in this
So
scene.
yeah, this highlights it in a fun way, basically.
It does, and it's very cute, and it's very Camilla.
It is. And Camilla's got game. That's what I learned from this scene.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because one of those nuns is filling her up.
Yeah, she got a handsy nun was really into this TikTok and other stuff. But
well,
Camilla's
then,
like, all right.
I mean,
sure.
you get it, Camilla.
You get it, Camilla. We support you and your shipping ways.
We do. So she hands the phone back to one of the nuns and says, and that's how you make a TikTok. I'm like, wow, girl.
Yeah, girl.
Get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she leaves her gaggle of nuns and goes through all of this parts of this building and internally and externally, and ends up going through a secret door in a library, because that's where all secret doors are, like in a bookcase.
Obviously.
And we find Mother Superior, and turns out Camilla wants to tell her about a dream where they were reunited with Mary. Very sad, because we don't know what's up with Mary. Except we do, because we found out that the actress didn't come back for season 2 for personal reasons. Sad, we get no Mary.
Yeah, and the thing that Camilla says here too that's important is that basically there's no eyewitnesses to what happened to Mary, and there's like no body. So like nobody knows at this point what happened. So Mary's a big mystery right now. No body, no eyewitness. So like nobody actually knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's sad when Mother Superior tells her that they kind of need to prepare for the possibility that Mary is DED dead. And I mean, I don't know how she, there's always a way to survive. I won't say that. So
Again,
basically,
no body.
There's no body.
No body.
Exactly. If there's no body, there's there's a possibility that person's alive. And obviously there's no body because they don't know what happened to Mary. Mother Superior not really comforting her, but basically saying, prepare for the worst, bitch, because the worst usually happens.
This
here.
Is Warrior Nun.
This is Warrior Nun. And they also may have to go to London because there's a Wraith Demon situation. And that's about all we get with them. It's a very short scene because we switched to Portugal with the asshole Vincent.
Yeah, basically the point of that scene is like Mother Superior and Camilla are holding down the OCS fort. That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then we get the not hot priest, who is Adriel's biggest lackey and a drunk again. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, man, it's tons of fun, but thankfully he doesn't.
Skipped over the dudes. I was really confused. I was trying to figure out where we were in my notes, and I just realized I didn't say anything about the dudes.
Oh,
valid. But we get a lady in this scene, so
we do get a lady in this scene because we have Lilith who finds Vincent.
Yeah,
she's on her scene.
She's on her vigilante shit. I'm here for that.
Yeah, she is, and grabs him and tells him she's about to torture basically she's about to torture the fuck out of him unless he tells her all the things, like what the fuck's going on. And
she's like basically on a solo mission to find out what happened to Mary.
Yeah.
Is like,
and
what's
so
happening.
That's how he stops her from torturing him, because he's like, oh, hey, Mary's with Adriel off being held somewhere. And she's like, I don't believe you, but also I kind of need to know.
Yeah.
So he's obviously lying about whatever's going on, but Lilith is not going to take that chance. That he might be, there might be a little bit of truth in there. So she tells him, she's basically like, okay, then show me.
Yeah, show and tell, bitch. And then shoves
show and tell. Just show me Mary.
And then I have to point out that, like, this is a question for somebody who's in charge of the show, but what the hell is going on with Lilith's hair? Because at the season 1 finale, it was mostly gray, and now in this scene, when we first see her again, there's like a streak. So what the hell is going on there?
Mm-hmm.
Needed to point that out.
Is this another General Alder hair issue?
Right.
That's what I was like, why are all the shows we're covering have something to do with the white hair? And
well, like in season 1, it almost seemed like every time Lilith tapped into whatever power she has from the other dimension, her hair would gray. But then, and it went full blown pretty much at the end where they had the big battle, and then now it's like, is she recovering? But like that one streak kind of like always stays. So is this a Rogue from X-Men situation? I'm not sure. This is a question for the showrunner. I'm just throwing that out there. I have to point it out because it's different from like finale to now.
It's a good question, and we need to know. But correct. I mean, we know it's showing Lilith changing, but how is did they just drop the hair thing and start using the whole she's growing scales thing instead?
Right. Is she adapting kind of to the power? Yeah, I can't figure that. What happened in the 2 months is my question.
Yeah. Oh well. Questions for Simon for 5,000. But we get to go meet a new character.
Mina, I love you.
We love Mina. We got to talk to Mina. She's
that
adorable.
was the only note I had for this scene.
Mina, I love you. She's adorable. I love her.
Yes, Yasmin, our new fave.
Yes, Yasmin Aminette. She's adorable as fuck, and she's meeting with the Pope on a rope to discuss an article that she's writing for The Economist.
But also, can we talk about that? The fact, like, okay, I couldn't get over that detail because, like, The Economist is not a nothing journal.
It's not.
Like, that's highly fucking prestigious.
It is.
So to have this woman come in there and be like, I'm writing for The Economist, like, that's a huge deal. Like,
it is.
She's stupidly intelligent if she's writing for, like, a journal of that caliber. So that's setting up who Yasmin is.
Well, we see how smart she is in this scene because...
Yeah, but, like, damn girl.
It is. I'm, like, here for that. So she's saying that she's writing an article about lost Christian artifacts, and I would like to mentally insert the Shurjan meme in everyone's head at this point.
Correct.
But, so this conversation, it's all Gucci until Pope on a rope. Shoes. I'd like to point out that I did not write Pope on a rope in my notes. That was Kaitlynn.
I found and replaced all of the Pope with Pope on a rope, but then I thought it didn't take, so I did it again. So now it just says Pope on a rope on a rope.
Oh my god.
I'm intentionally leaving out the second on a rope.
Thank you.
So Pope on a rope and his
bishops or cardinals.
Well, what I said was it's all Gucci like Pope on a rope shoes because he likes fancy shit.
He does.
Until Yasmin brings up Adriel and the OCS. So
which is why
he starts to get shifty and uncomfy because she shouldn't know about all this. And now he's going to have to deal with the fact that she's here and says that she's about to write an article and she's talking about secret shit that the Catholic Church has been hiding for centuries. Not a good day for Pope on a rope. So they have this kind of back and forth where Yasmin keeps pushing and the Pope keeps like basically saying no, no, no. And then the Pope and his posse get up and leave because she's too close to the truth, talking about Adriel the OCS and what happened at the Vatican. We find out after the Pope and his posse, Pope on a rope and his posse leave, that she was really there to somehow connect with the Vatican telecommunications network because she picks up her phone and you see that she's now connected. They're like, oh, thank you for this. And she's like, no, thank you. And it's now hacked into the Vatican.
Yeah, she's basically like hacking into his cell phone is what she's doing.
Yeah.
Because we see that play out later. But the other thing I want to point out in this scene with Yasmin is her general enthusiasm for what's happening. Yeah, so she's not only like incredibly intelligent, handles the situation like a boss, but she's genuinely like loves what she's taught. Like you get that from her immediately, like loves it. And
She
also,
does.
other point of information that's basically revealed in this scene when she shifts immediately into the Adriel stuff. And you get the Pope basically expresses that he's denouncing this guy right now. Like so this has been 2 months since this dude's been out in the world, and so the Catholic Church is not acknowledging this entity yet. And we get into that more as the season goes on, but like that's another important piece from this scene.
Right. Exactly. So that scene, the only amazing thing about that scene is Yasmin, and now we have to move on to a less enjoyable scene because we go to Jillian and Christian.
Jillian is a hot ass mess that hasn't left this lab in weeks and isn't sleeping.
Jillian has not slept or probably eaten anything. But hey, the arc is activating every 6 hours, and Christian's there to see it spark for a second. She has tried to go through it, and it has burned the shit out of her, as evidenced by the scars on her arms. And I really hate her storyline because it's still all about being a mother and Michael, and she has no other purpose in life.
I disagree a little bit with that right now. I think that the Michael thing is obviously it's like the underlying motivator, but from the way she talks in this scene, I think that Jillian has like an obsessive personality, because in order to be as successful and to be a like not even successful, but to be like an expert in your field, you kind of have to be obsessive. And it really highlights here. She hasn't left this lab. She's like obsessed with the portal. And it's not just Michael. She's like, yeah, the prospect of getting, I think she's moved past that. She has an obsession with what is going on with this portal because she's tried to send drones through. She's like going through the scientific method, and she's like almost in the level of like being just curious about this thing to an obsessive degree. So I think it is about Michael, but I think she's moving into just straight up obsession with the other dimension at this point. Like she's just, I can't even bother with her business. Like at some point he's like, hey, can you sign these papers for this like building? And she's like, what building? Also, whatever, I trust you. She's like, she has no space for anything else. She's obsessed with the portal.
She absolutely is.
Yeah. So, hi, Kaitlynn.
Hi, Kaitlynn. I guess the problem I have is her obsession. Not only like, I wish that it was just, I don't know, she gets better a little later, but I agree with you. She does have to have an obsessive thing with this portal and what happened. I think it's just her need to know what happens. What happened? What happens?
Yes, what happens? I think she's teetering from like into just straight up scientific curiosity with this thing. And that absolutely, I think manifests as the season goes on, because she does things that's not really about Michael. It's kind of about like, well, what the fuck is going on? Like she's just yeah. So she's also progressing character wise, but
yes,
that's basically where she's at. She's like, I ain't got space for architect right now.
I see what you're saying. Absolutely.
This. Yeah, because like the way she talks to Christian in the scene, where he's like, hey, business stuff, you haven't come into the office. Like she's just obsessed with this thing. And like has no, she's like, I trust you to run the business, whatever, which is her downfall. And like he's scheming and plotting, and that's basically the scene.
Gross. He's gross. That's what he is.
Yeah, he's taking advantage of like her preoccupation
precisely
to finance his own stuff right now.
Because she's given over her entire empire to him, and now it's the Christian empire, and or more specifically the Adriel empires. We're going to see later, but she signs the papers, and can we just go back to B and Ava is what I have. And then, yes, we can. Because guess what?
Let's move on.
It's the training scene.
The training scene.
It's the best scene yet.
It's a good scene.
We get to see Ava running along, and Beatrice is in her ear telling her to halo blast rocks and run across the water. And then the halo goes out while she's running across the water to get to Beatrice, which is such a metaphor.
Yeah. It super is.
And so she goes right into the water. Thank
I mean,
God Beatrice taught her how to swim.
yeah, this would have been fucked. Yeah.
Beatrice would have had to rescue her.
Yeah.
So, very cool little scene there with her running across the water.
So, Kaitlynn, do you have any comments on how they made the walking on water scene happen, or running on water?
Oh, you said walking on water, and then all I heard in my head was, I'm walking on sunshine.
Of course.
Sorry, I had to just say it. So Michael told me that they used a platform in a shallow part of the lake, and so they just had it go all the way out, and then they removed it in post very carefully. I really want to see them do it.
Yeah.
Apparently
that would be really cool.
they put out a like the making of the visual effects of season 1.
Oh.
I didn't see it, but apparently that exists.
You need to find
Really
it.
look that. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. And they're planning on doing it for season 2, but they don't know the timeline for it.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to that.
Heck yes. So, like, basically, she was running in some kind of water, but there's just something under her feet, so you get all the splashing and stuff.
Yeah, and it happens with Adriel in the next episode.
Yeah, when he walks in the water.
Yeah, so like they are in the water a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. So the water
They've
wasn't
got a
like
platform to run.
Yeah.
You know, that
But
would
they
be.
had to like take out reflections and
I imagine it was a lot of work to make that thing disappear.
there's a whole team of people who just do like certain things.
Yeah. I think it would be, if it was me, I would have fallen off. I wonder how many times Alba fell off the platform
Right.
running to the end.
Right, totally, because it has to end and she has to fall into the water. That shit must have been
I feel like there
cold.
would be an indication.
Yeah.
Oh, totally, but how
where
many
the-
takes was this where she had to keep falling into the...
No, I mean, like,
well-
slowing down and stopping is hard.
We'll go Alba.
So,
It
like,
looks
if
very
she ever
natural.
tried to slow down and not go off the platform, I could see that not being easy. But yeah, that's really cool that he told us how that happened. And I hope we get to see it in the making of.
Yeah, yeah.
When that comes
guys,
out.
go check out the making of the video effects breakdown of season 1. It's insane what they have to do.
Yes.
Yes.
I will definitely watch that after we get out of here.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
Sending it to you guys.
Thank
All
you.
right. What else we got going on this scene?
All right, so she finally gets over to Beatrice, apparently, because they're sitting on a rock. She's all wet. Beatrice is not, but hey, Beatrice's arms are out, so we like it.
They sure are. Welcome to the gun show, everyone.
Welcome to the gun show.
That's really why Ava
Beatrice is
fell.
the star.
They look good in
Also-
nature together.
They do look good in nature together. You're so right. They
It's
just
so
look good together in
beautiful.
general, but yes, in nature, especially.
I mean, this
Okay.
shot is beautiful with the mountains in the background.
It reminds me of a scene in Terminator Genesis. When, yeah, like, I don't know, the way Ava is with her hair wet,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I forget which scene it is. I had to watch it like 5 times to do a trailer in school, and it just reminded me of it. And so I wanted to say it, even though it's not relevant.
Oh,
Everything is relevant.
everything is relevant.
Question about the halo, because all right, so they're basically also like Ava gets into in a second, like the halo thing going out.
Mhm.
I wonder, is that, I forget, is this connected to like the pulse field happening every 6 hours in the portal? I don't
That
know
was
what the-
my other question, is it connected to that, or is it connected to Ava's emotions being all over the place?
Well, I don't know that it's her emotions, just because this minor spoiler, if for some reason you're watching this as we were talking about it, she talks about later in the season where it's like it's getting worse. I don't know that
Mhm.
it's emotional. I think it has to do with whatever's like sending energy through the portal. So I wonder if it's like
You have
on
to
a
be right.
time that gets
Yeah.
like increases in
Right.
frequency. Yeah.
You have to be correct.
Yeah, so I wonder if like this happened as like Jillian and Christian are in the lab, and they're like, "Oh, look, it happened again," and then like Ava falls in the water. Like,
Right.
yeah, I don't know, just throwing that out there.
Yeah. So they have a little chat about how Ava thinks everything is her fault.
Yeah, she feeling guilty.
She feel guilty. That's what's happening. And Beatrice tries to be like, no, it's not. But I don't think Beatrice is really going to get through to her on that. So unfortunate. But for some reason, I lost my place in my notes.
Is it because I messed them up?
I don't think so. I think it was me.
So here when she's like basically expressing Ava, meaning Ava, is expressing that she feels guilty. Like she says stuff like basically that she feels very naive, like she was taken advantage of by Adriel, which she
By
was.
Vincent.
Yeah. I mean, and Vincent too, who's basically acting out what Adriel wanted. And like Beatrice is essentially like, no, like we're not. The part of basically the big conflict here is that like Ava feels guilty and she wants to like make up for all of this. She's like, the world is burning because of me, and Beatrice is like, yeah, kind of, but also like you're not doing anything right now. What your job is right now is to prepare to battle him. Like that's your job. You're the only one that can do that, and so you have to prepare for that. So you are doing something, but by quote unquote hiding, you know, Ava feels like I'm not doing anything. I'm running from my responsibilities instead of like taking ownership of this situation, which again, character growth for Ava, because that was not season 1 Ava. This is season 2 Ava.
Yes.
But Beatrice has to keep reminding her, you need to be patient, learn patience is basically this whole conversation.
And Ava's not really even letting Beatrice talk all that much, but it's the same. They have this conversation several times throughout the season, but especially in the first like 2 episodes. So it's just like, girl, it's okay.
But also it's like a conflict. Again, they complement each other, but remember, complements are also opposites. So this is an opposite ideology from these two characters.
Absolutely.
Where Beatrice is like, hey, like we need to hide and learn some skills because that's Beatrice's default, and Ava's like, we need to go punch the angel. Like that's these are different personalities and they're clashing, but they're communicating in a healthy way with each other and trying to like meet each other in the middle a little bit. But at this point, I think Ava is past her like patience point where she's like, I can't keep doing nothing. Like I'm just getting to the point where I can't keep doing things your way, Beatrice. I need to do things my way. That's basically, we're coming to a head with that when we come back into the story. Yeah,
absolutely.
And also I need to point out that this conversation to me on the rewatch sounds like a giant metaphor for their whole relationship is basically what this is, because Beatrice is like, we need to keep hiding and like figure our shit out before we act on anything, which is what Beatrice is doing with her feelings, versus Ava, who's like, I'm at the point where I need to like act on these feelings.
Yeah.
That's literally their relationship. This conversation.
It is. Double meanings everywhere.
Yes.
The double entendre. But is that don't look at me like that, okay?
All right. Unfortunately, so, any more about this scene?
Because unfortunately we have to go back to the men.
Yeah. So
we're gonna breeze through this.
Let's wrap this up in one sentence. Oh wait, you have something to say, Kaitlynn?
I said blah.
Yes, blah.
So back to Pope on a rope, and Christian meeting up. Christian is trying to convince him that Adriel is the real deal and they should work together. Christian is like, Adriel is the bridge between faith and science. Listen, bitch. No, he's not.
I know.
He's using you, but hey, whatever. He wants the church to legitimize Adriel. And also, my note is that Christian is a true believer no matter what he's sinks himself into.
Boom. He uses words like reborn, so that is 100% what's happening here.
Absolutely.
Guys, I have like 5 notes on this.
Oh, this scene?
I think so.
Oh, shit.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
I don't fully know what they are. I mean, the first one, so Adriel is an angel, ? You guys already answered that one. The second one is, why do I still not understand this show?
Because the men are talking.
This one, someone says it. I don't know who. And I said, a pilgrim? How is that relevant?
Oh, okay. So pilgrim in a religious sense is somebody who essentially like makes the journey to the Holy Land. It's like a true believer. Again, Christian keeps using language that indicates that he is a fanatic. He's actually a fanatic, though he hides under the guise of being Mr. Intellectual, Mr. Science. He is a fanatic, a religious fanatic. So pilgrim doesn't mean the American pilgrims who came over on the Mayflower. It means a very devout religious person that makes long journeys to the place of the holy place. That's what it means here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the scene with Vincent?
No.
Okay. That's the next one then.
Okay.
Cool. No, I said it wrong. It wasn't Vincent. It was the other dude. It was the Pope on a rope. Because that's right. I got the names mixed up.
Okay.
So this is the scene with the Pope on a rope.
It's the Pope with Christian, yeah.
I asked, is he a good guy? But then I just made a comment, but still a dude.
Yeah. None of them are good. The men are all slippery in the show.
Yeah, the men are all mired in their own particular moral quandaries and
that we're not going to get into because we don't care about them.
No, we don't care.
Nope.
All right. My next one's about Camilla, so go ahead.
Ooh.
All right.
Well, the next scene, which is way more fun.
The next scene is Michael's back at the bar, and he and Ava are talking in code again, except it's not very good code. They kind of suck at this.
They're both terrible.
So she's like, I want to help. And then we get a shot of Beatrice doing the books over there. She's looking over at him, being concerned about what this whole Michael and Ava convo thing is.
She's jealous.
Yeah. And then he reveals that he is working with a group called the Samaritans, and also pointing out that the cultists are called the Firstborn Children, or FBC, from henceforth. He describes his group like it's on a brochure somewhere as a decentralized cadre of like-minded people. Like, what did he like? Did somebody make up a brochure for this group?
Is this
of
the
decentralized?
It's like the HR. They have to go to HR, and HR is like, listen, this is how you talk about the vigilante group. You use these positive words, and like that's the spiel they get before they go out in the world to recruit people.
Apparently, like they need to take some notes from the spree. I don't know.
No, well, that's okay. For those that watch Motherland, that is what this is. This is a group, a decentralized group. There is no leader, and they're just causing disruption, which is like terrorism, ragtag. It's the same concept.
Exactly.
This is the grassroots movement in response to the cult. So Adriel's cult, basically. Yep. And what's really important about this scene is that Beatrice misinterprets this conversation as flirting and gets jealous because drama. That's really the main part of the scene. And it's so good.
Kaitlynn.
What did I write? That's what I wrote.
Michael and Ava toast to the group doing their thing, but she wrote French toast.
Kaitlynn. Oh, also, I have one comment about Michael, whatever. Who the fuck comes into a bar multiple times a day and orders water?
The guy that wants Ava for breakfast.
Right. So, like, from Beatrice's perspective, him being interested in Ava is totally valid because who does that? You only do that when you're interested in the person giving you the drink. So, like, her jealousy is totally valid here.
What if he's just lonely?
I think that's really what it is because this boy has no friends. And he's also just trying to recruit people. He says, so if you look at his group, the Samaritans, they're kind of, again, this is like a counter movement to the cult, but they have similarities where he's trying to actively recruit people. Like the cult is recruiting people, but him coming in the bar is like a recruitment thing. But it's weird that he just comes and orders water. Do you even have to pay for that? It's water. So like it's weird. Beatrice is jealous.
You better tip her.
Right. Like
you can't just get the goods and not tip her.
Well, he doesn't get the goods. That's all Beatrice's.
But see, he thinks of her as French toast.
He does think of her as French toast. Exactly. I mean, I don't blame him. However,
I want French toast now.
So there you go.
This is
this one off the rails.
We're
Welcome
head
to the
baiting.
gay
That's what
energy.
we're doing.
No,
is head
this
baiting.
This is 100% head baiting. It absolutely is. That was our prediction, and we were 100% right. This is head
Correct. Beatrice spares them one super jealous, concerned look at the end, and that's what we get. I love all of the when we see Beatrice and the wheels are turning in her head. Christina does a really good job of showing that, and
Totally.
it's just you want to reach out and give her a hug and be like, "It's going to be okay," except it's not.
Yeah.
But anyway, does anyone have anything else to say about this scene? It was super cute.
Love it.
Love it. Okay,
well, apparently I didn't care enough to write anything about it.
Hey, that's fine. Because we're going to go back to Pope on a Rope on a Rope.
Wait a minute. Were you not even distracted by Ava's outfit in the scene? Come on now.
It was nice.
Her wardrobe also
is on point this season.
She glowed up. She is our bisexual Jesus. That has been confirmed.
Yes, she is.
This episode was written notes at 11 something at night.
This is why we prepare earlier. We have the visual.
We have that.
I've seen this episode so many times now.
But yes, Ava's outfit, 10 out of 10.
Yes, I love it.
Ava's a 10 out of 10.
Ava is a 10 out of 10. And that's why she deserves Beatrice, because Beatrice is also a 10 out of 10.
Beatrice is a 20 out of 10. So.
Okay, fair. I didn't want to be mean to Ava, but
also Beatrice's outfit in the scene.
To me,
okay.
Ava is just as high.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty. We have a
numbering war and the big team. How would you listening at home rate Ava?
Don't do that. No, I feel really bad rating people.
Rate their wardrobe.
Yes.
Rate the wardrobe.
I'm sorry. Ava's wardrobe is better than
Ava's wardrobe has more diversity.
Yes,
but it totally is reflected. They both side tangent about costuming. Costumes nailed the personality of these two people.
Yes.
Nailed it. Because Beatrice's outfits, she's very conservative.
Costumes is Christina with a C.
Yeah, and Ava's very much again, live in the moment. She has fun shirts and a variety of outfits, and it's very they nailed the characters with the clothing.
She has a lot of pants that have wide legs.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Wide flowy legs.
Very flowy.
Ava.
And hats, and it's all good. It is all good.
Ava's I'm gonna dress gay before I know I'm gay.
She's signaling to Beatrice is what she's trying so hard to be hey, look at me.
Beatrice
I'm someone who'd be into you. Come on.
Continually buttoned up.
Because she's still hiding. They do it so well with the wardrobe. They nail the characters' headspaces, is what I'm saying.
And I do love that Christina's favorite costume was my favorite costume.
Which was what?
It's the one with the shirt that's a tan color that buttons up, and then the sleeves have a bit of a flounce.
Oh, yeah.
The dark pants, the slacks.
I think since season episode 2, I think that outfit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is where it comes up.
Hell yeah.
All right. We're going on to Pope on a Rope, and Suzanne, aka Mother Superior.
Ooh, they're speaking Italian in this scene.
They are. I'm here for Mother Superior speaking Italian.
Yes.
Ken has more of this. So they're having a chat where she tries to get him to treat the Adriel situation like a real boots on the ground thing. They need to do something now. And he's telling her, well, it's just political at the moment until Adriel actually attacks. So Mother Superior knows and sees way better than anyone else in the Catholic Church at this moment, besides the assholes that are already for Adriel, that shit's about to go down and they need to preemptively get on top of it. However, the Pope, ever sitting in his mob boss mentality, is listen,
He's wearing a tracksuit in this scene. He's wearing a tracksuit. Literally, this is the Sopranos. I just can't even with it. But you're right.
Oh my god, I was about to ask if he was Italian.
Girl.
I mean, technically that's a valid question
It
because
is.
popes do come from like all countries. However, I think it's pretty safe to say that Duretti is probably Italian.
Yeah, the name is pretty Italian sounding.
Yeah.
But at the end,
I'm sorry, I don't know the origin of every last name.
that's just yeah. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Also, yeah, his background doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, it's again, this is Mother Superior being the voice of reason, being like, we need to fucking do something. Foreshadowing because
Yep.
yeah.
We get a very short scene with Yaz hacking into the Vatican, basically. / phone system, phone stuff.
Yeah, she traced their calls, basically what it was. So she's listening in on
Yep,
that whole.
she's listening. More Yaz. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's very short-lived because then we have to go over to Mother Superior and Camilla having a chat about Lilith not reporting in. They're like, where the fuck's Lilith? And now they're like, maybe we should chill. You know, we've been working a lot. Camilla's like, yeah, let's go have dinner. I feel like they skip off into the sunset type of thing. But however, oh, damn. We go very briefly to Lilith and Vincent arriving at this compound. And in my head, all I can think of is, girl, run. But at the same time, don't. Because I enjoy what happens.
Yeah, I enjoy the way this plays out. And I need to note that the guards guarding Adriel's compound, their uniforms are basically Nazi uniforms. So I need to point that out. So again, we're setting
They're
up the
cosplaying Nazis, except they are. Yes, Kaitlynn.
I wanted to interrupt real quick because I don't know where this goes. But all I said was Camilla looks like she is crushing on Mother Superior.
Oh, probably the prior scene. It's like, let's get
yeah. That's why I was like, I have to interrupt now before we get to the next one.
I mean, I totally get it.
Well, the next scene's like gonna be a 30-minute discussion. So yes, valid.
Well, no, the next one, as in they go
the
back
next one
to
with
find
them.
The harem.
100%.
Right? The harem?
Well, the next scene is the bar.
Then back to sadness as MS and Camilla find all the nuns there murdered.
That's later. That's
later.
That's later.
Oh shit.
It's all good.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay, just give us a second. All right, so they have the chat.
Got it. I see what I messed up.
Lilith shows up, and then I'm like, my note is, oh hell yeah, we're back at the bar with avatrice. So Ava's about to get B drunk for the first time is basically what's happening here, because she finds out that Beatrice has never really had any alcohol. She only sips the communion wine, which tracks. I mean, why would Beatrice want to lose control? But she's going to go there with Ava.
I have so many. All right, I have a ton of notes before we even get to that part. Okay, wait. So this whole scenario is actually pretty funny to me. So when they first get there, Beatrice is like tired and wants to go home.
Yeah.
It's like, what, 8 o'clock? So, okay, I have to...
I feel that.
Right.
No.
In my soul.
I think Beatrice is the person whose bedtime is like 9 o'clock. And she's like, it's almost my bedtime. Like, I need to go home. And
she's like, Bree! Oh my god!
Well, Bree gets up at a stupid hour of the day. So, like, understandable. But I think Beatrice is just, like, in bed by 9 o'clock. That's who she is. That is just who she is. And even the scenario is like, I had a shit day. Like, and I need to tell you this stuff about the Miguel stuff. Like, we need to talk. We have to talk about this. Like, come, I need a drink though, because like it's heavy. Let's go hang out. And Beatrice immediately goes into the you've been charmed by some guy. Like, that's immediately where her brain goes.
I mean, Ava's track record.
Also, it's not an unfathomable thing, but also, again, this is Beatrice with her double standard, where she keeps saying to Ava, like, you're letting your emotions get in the way of everything, of the mission. Or that's what Beatrice is doing right now, because logical strategist Beatrice would want to know the information Ava is going to tell her about this group, because it does play a role in the whole OCS stuff and like the bigger picture. So like, this is Beatrice having the double standard of like, my emotions are clouding my judgment and I can't help it. but she calls Ava out for it. So she like kind of projects her own like stuff she can't control onto Ava, which she has done before, but it like really is getting problematic in a way. And then they transition into like the, what do you mean you've never drunk before? How has this never come up before? They work in a bar.
They work in a bar.
Like how? How has this never
Did
come
they
up before?
just spend this whole time not talking about how Beatrice has never drank alcohol? I mean,
Do they
was
not
that a
hang
question?
out at night? Like,
Yeah.
what?
What do you guys do at night in your apartment alone in the one bed?
Thank you.
They do word searches.
I think Beatrice passes
Is that
out
a
and then Ava
euphemism?
entertains herself. But yeah, seriously, I'm just like, how has this never come up before?
Word searches.
Word searches.
But no,
Ava's
it's
searching for something else.
strangle punch. It's definitely the strangle punch and the horse ballet. Word search.
There you go.
Oh my god. Yes.
I was hoping you would get that because I just realized I was the only person who saw it already.
Oh my god.
Go watch our reaction videos.
Yes. I think that it's really funny that Beatrice is finally having emotions that she can't just like stuff down, and
she cannot control her emotions. That's part of like, yeah.
And
whether
Michael-
she recognizes that or not, I'm not entirely sure.
Miguel is getting on her ever last fucking nerve, and she doesn't want to hear anything that has to do with him because jealousy. And in her head, she's by Kaitlynn. She's probably justifying that by, well, Ava's just like she said, getting charmed by this person, but also being dragged into a situation where they're going to get exposed. So it's like she's using the logical parts of that to cover up her emotions in her head. That's what I feel like's going on.
Yeah, she's
rationalizing that.
Yeah, to fit her own narrative.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time is ironically doing what she thinks Ava is doing, which is using her emotions are clouding her judgment here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Love it. We're getting to the meat and potatoes of the gay.
Yes.
So there's a lot. So back to sadness.
Wait! Before we get to sadness, there's one last piece of the scene.
Okay.
Immediately when Ava's like, "Oh, I'm getting you drunk for the first time," yay! Also, like, come on, metaphor. I'm gonna be your first thing, whatever. Then she's like, Hans shots, and Ava, despite her slowness, has game though because she does manage to completely invade Beatrice's space while doing this. So kudos to Ava. She does have game despite her slowness.
Okay, Beatrice is never going to. Beatrice would never reach for Ava first, but Beatrice will let Ava invade her space and touch her and other things. And that's why the whole fucking time I was like, it's going to have to be Ava initiating anything first.
Yeah, Beatrice is too in her head. But yeah, kudos to Ava because, again, the girl has game. So good for you, girl.
I mean, Beatrice would never.
Not right now.
No. I'm just saying, like, she would never be able to not let Ava in her space. I don't think
she doesn't know how to react to it anyway, and on some level, she wants that. So
yes, exactly. All of the pent up gay feelings.
Yep, gotta go somewhere.
Back to sadness, I guess.
Get past the sadness.
Mother Superior and Camilla find all of the nuns murdered where they are. So Camilla no longer has a harem. They all dead.
Yeah.
Well, so she can be with Mother Superior now.
Yeah, I guess.
So
but back to the bar!
Wait, so the question is, Kaitlynn, did Mother Superior sabotage the harem so that she can have Camilla all to herself?
Oh!
This is a valid question.
That's the background story.
That's the question.
You know, she that's where she episode 2, I believe it is. Yes, the next episode, she purposefully puts Camilla there. I'm just saying, if you look at it, but we'll get there.
I cannot wait.
Can't wait.
But
Well, now I have more to say.
shots.
Shots. We back at the bar.
Back
All
at the bar.
right. So B takes her first shot, and guess what? It's a lemon drop, so it's not what she expected. It's not entirely unpleasant. Listen. If I live for one thing in this show, it is the unusual for the age and placement, the way that Beatrice speaks. I love it. It's like that little bit of formal that she has, the way she phrases things. It's freaking adorable, and I love it. So 5 points. So
To Gryffindor! Sorry. Oh my god, guys. My brain is not here.
Hi.
Continue.
Beatrice is a Ravenclaw. Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Sorry, that's the only reference I knew.
Things get progressively gayer, as someone once said.
Let's hold on, wait. Before we get to the progressively gayer stuff, I want to talk about that shot scene real quick. So hold on.
I have something to say.
Couple of things.
Go ahead.
Go.
First, Beatrice is like, "Wait, you're giving me straight up liquor? Shouldn't I start with wine?" As somebody who's never drunk before, yeah, you probably should. She probably should have started with wine first of all. And Beatrice, like you said, with the being so formal and stuff, she's a wine drinker. Like, let's keep that 100.
Let's be real.
Yes. And throughout this whole thing, she's clearly like super out of her comfort zone here. And I love, if you missed this, please go back and watch it. Ava's trying to like, again, get her to loosen up. So when they get the shot glasses, she tries to cheers Beatrice, but Beatrice is so out of it that all she does is stare at the glass. And so like Ava has like no, and so she's like, oh, like she tries so hard and Beatrice
she
is
gets
like,
left hanging.
what is this? He gets left hanging. It's hilarious. If you missed that, please go back and watch it. It's really fucking funny.
I did miss that.
It's
Every
funny.
second of this
Poor Ava.
sequence is absolutely
It's so funny.
wonderful.
She's like, damn it.
Yeah. Kudos to both of these actors for being amazing in this.
Yeah, and then Ava again, like the whole time is just trying to get her to like loosen up and be herself. And so then she tries to crack the nun joke and like it gets Beatrice like to relax.
And that's when Beatrice joins in.
And more importantly, that's when Ava's sweater comes flying the fuck up. She's like, I don't need the sweater anymore. Look at my tank top.
You mean Beatrice?
No. Ava starts it in this scene.
Ava does start it.
She's like, one shot. Woo! I don't need this fucking sweater.
Yeah. She's like, I'm hot now. Let's
emotional
take
armor
this off.
gone. It's gone. I have none. I have no barriers.
She has none.
Look at me.
She has a nun. It is Beatrice.
Has a nun. She's getting her nun. That's what she's doing. But she's like, fuck this sweater.
I want to ask someone if they were drinking water or like what was like they're actually drinking.
We will ask that. So yeah, whatever they're drinking, we'll find out someday.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. As soon as like I noticed that on the every viewing that I've had, that Ava's like, all right, woo!
Flying. It just goes flying. She's like, I don't fucking need this. Look at my outfit.
And Beatrice is still sitting there like wide-eyed going, what in the fuck is that?
She's like, that was sweet. Like, she's just oblivious.
Yeah.
Completely oblivious.
Yep.
I love it.
This scene is about Beatrice being completely oblivious the entire time and Ava not being oblivious at all.
No, Ava has some processing. But also, like, think about, like, with Beatrice, this is the different headspaces, right? Ava's let's live in the moment versus Beatrice really doesn't know how to do that.
Nope.
Like, here, she's not conscious of living in the moment. She lets go, but it is not really in the moment. Like, that's a barrier she has.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we get them starting to dance. I really like the song they chose for this as well. So we see, is there any like specific moments that you want to pick out besides the one that before the one that we're going to talk about?
No, the only thing I want to point out is that in this scene, we talked about this when we kind of did like our season 2 predictions, but I'm just going to, for those who didn't really listen to Warrior Nun season 1, first of all, go back and listen to that and then come back later. I want to point out the wardrobe stuff with and hair and makeup with Beatrice. So Ava tosses the sweater. because again, clothing, when you're covered up in clothing, it can symbolize a character is like closed off emotionally or hiding or things like that. And that's why Beatrice's wardrobe is very conservative. But in this scene, we get the complete opposite of Beatrice's normal wardrobe in when they're here, like dancing and having fun. Her like grandma sweater or grandfather sweater, it looks like a retiree like would own
It's
this.
literally just a sweatshirt, I think.
Yes. But like the style of it, like when Ava's like, what are you, 70? Yes, look at the sweater. This is a sweater a 70-year-old would wear. Like, that's Beatrice, right? In this scene when they're dancing, the sweater is gone. So it's just, she has like short sleeve, very casual looking outfit. And then her hair is down. Her hair is never down. Like, never.
Nope.
Except, yeah, never. So usually what that means for a character who has their hair up all the time, when it's down, it usually means that their mask is down, their emotional walls are down. So that is used very purposely in like film, because think about all this stuff is very on purpose. So in this moment, it's important to know and recognize that Beatrice is the most, to quote Sister Melanie, like unbound, unburdened, finally me. So that is what this moment is. So the scene we're going to fixate on is really important because that's what Beatrice is showing in this moment.
Yep.
With Ava. So yeah.
We have Beatrice being completely herself.
Completely.
No hiding.
Nope.
And then Ava has this moment when they're dancing where she's watching Beatrice be free, basically. And it's like, bam, like, I have feelings for this person. This is what is going on. Like, I don't know if it's like, holy shit, she's beautiful. Like, but literally everything about her kind of situation, it's like she actually cottons on to how she's actually feeling about Beatrice.
I'm gonna take that a step further. I'm with you. This is we said it.
You think it's I love you? I love Beatrice?
I think this is I'm in love with her.
Okay, so, I didn't want to go that far in case I was like going to U-Haul Town.
This is Ava's I'm in love with her.
I'm in love with this person.
I'm in love with this person. And I will explain why. Because again, this is Beatrice purely being Beatrice, which has been a thing Ava's been trying to like draw out of her. And I imagine it's just been the two of them, really. Because Beatrice, I don't think interacts with anybody else except Ava, really. And so in close quarters, over the past 2 months, I think Ava has seen more of Beatrice than anybody else has ever seen. So like she knows her pretty well at this point. And it's very clear from the dialogue in the beginning of the episode where she's like basically flirting with Beatrice, like low key, like the yes mother, just kidding. Like she's like, no, I'm not looking at that dude. Like she's very like, I think she's aware she kind of has feelings for Beatrice, but like Beatrice, again, like you said, like Ava would have to be the first one to make a move because Beatrice would never, because she's oblivious. So I think Ava's had these feelings and is like, whatever, we're friends, like whatever, kind of like doesn't, because sometimes you can have feelings for somebody, but like if like you put him in a box where you're like, I can't like this person, like it just whatever, like whatever kind of thing. I think here Ava's like, fuck, like I'm in love with this person. Because she finally gets her to be free. And I think they show us too through how they shoot and do the post editing with this scene. Because the lead up to it, it's kind of like they slow things down a little bit when they're dancing. And then they give us Ava's point of view, where it's literally just Beatrice in the center of the frame, just being free, like just being free, dancing, hair flowing, all that stuff. And they drown the music. Like you hear the song the whole time, but when Ava is having this moment and having the oh shit moment, the sound drowns. Because I think for Ava, it's kind of like symbolizing that, like, oh shit, like that is her having the oh shit, I'm in love with her moment. Because the rest of the episodes kind of after this, Ava's behavior towards Beatrice changes in a way, like it's more than I have feelings for her. This is a oh shit, I'm actually in love with her kind of moment. It's too much of a shift in the way they do the sound and the setup and the slow-mo. This is a big moment, a bigger moment for Ava kind of thing.
You know, I didn't even. Okay, the first time I made my notes, I put that the oh shit, I love her. And then I backed off of that, and now I regret backing off of that. This is
Join
just
me.
a proof. This is just proof of that we don't do our notes. We don't see each other's notes beforehand. Because
Unless I'm messing with Bree's notes.
Kaitlynn.
unless she's
Yeah.
messing with my notes. Pope on a rope on a rope. However, I am going to join you in this cadre of like-minded individuals of two
But
as we talk about how Ava is in love with Beatrice in this moment or realizes that. So we're
You
here.
want to know the difference of all of us?
What?
what?
The only thing I wrote was gay washes over Ava.
I mean, that's true too.
Yes, that is what happened. That's a more
That's what
concise way of
happened.
putting it.
Yeah.
But I just think because I think this is Ava realizes the truth of it all first, then has to sit with it while Beatrice has to. Because think about Beatrice. Beatrice has never really been out. She's never really been able to be herself, and I think Ava's very conscious of Beatrice's whole situation and stuff, and is somebody who's not going to push her, and that's kind of what ends up happening, right? Because to get to the spoiler, I love you at the very end,
Mm-hmm.
I think Ava already knew, and I think Beatrice didn't. Beatrice is the one who you have to punch her in the face with what's happening for her to be oh shit, because she's too much in her head to sort it out. But I think Ava here sorts it out, and then it's
yep,
shit.
Okay, I'm with you 100%.
It makes sense for the character.
It also makes sense for later conversation for, like you said, the way she acts towards her, but also there's a conversation way later on where she's trying to she's tired of not being, and so she's kind of trying to say it without saying it, but then.
Yeah, exactly. And there's the conversation later with Mother Superior and so, Ava already knows that's that, and it's part of it's a burden for Ava because she's I know, but you're not there yet, and I get it. Yeah. And then that's when she starts in the next episode, she starts pushing Beatrice to be do you like me? Do you like me? Do you like me? Yeah. Ava knows. This was the ocean I love.
I'm being washed over by the gay of this scene.
Yeah, but I also just love the way this is handled because think about it from Ava's perspective. Her realization is basically I love you because you're you, which is my favorite way that is ever done, and it's very organic and just the best way to be I love you for you. And that's what Ava is processing in that moment, and it's just that's a healthy relationship.
They're so cute.
They're very cute.
I don't want them to leave the bar.
Kaitlyn's busted in the corner. Kaitlynn, what?
What's going on?
What is going on? Do we even want to know? I want to know. What's up? Are you muted?
Are you muted?
Sorry, I have a song for you.
Oh God, no. What is it?
It's so stupid.
I'm scared.
Release your inhibitions, feel the gay on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else.
Feel the gay on your skin.
Okay, there needs to be an edit.
Oh my God, is it going to be the lesbian Jesus one that I did? I have to sing it and edit it.
Yep.
Shit. Okay, I'll do it. My mom, I'm going to be singing it in here. What the hell are you doing?
Yep.
It's for work.
It's for work. I kind of wanted to stay in that moment forever.
I know.
But
because it's cute and I love it and
huge. It's a huge moment.
It's a huge moment.
Yeah.
And we get it in episode 1.
That's what blew my mind. I was
okay, Christy told us it gets progressively gayer. So when I saw this episode, I'm what the hell's gonna happen?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We're starting with this.
I mean, I think she had to undersell the gay, but she undersold the gay.
I mean, she didn't tell a lie though. It does get
She did not tell a lie.
Right.
Wows. Geez. So I have a question about the next scene.
I have so many questions about the next scene. What is your question?
My question is, how the fuck are they not falling all over the place?
That is my big question. I call bullshit on this scene. How?
Oh, yeah.
How are either of them okay? Like
Yeah.
either of them, they because they purposely showed us them taking at least 3 shots. Beatrice has never drunk before in her life. How is she fine? Were they at that bar for 24 hours?
Thank
like,
you.
What just happened?
She's back in her sweatshirt. Her hair's up. She is absolutely sober.
How are they sober?
Wow.
And then they proceed into a fight scene after that. Like,
Yeah.
how are they able to function? I don't understand.
It's
How? I'd be dead. I don't get this. Like,
this would not happen in any good. I mean, we'd both be dead. But listen, when they're even having like a theological discussion while
like,
this is happening.
What? Like they're totally fine. They're just like, yep,
Totally fine.
About angels and stuff. And it's like, what the?
Well, I like
no
this
one
scene.
like, I need tacos right now. Like,
I know.
How
let's
is
go
this
to Taco
realistic?
Bell.
Yeah, let's go get. I'm hungry. This is not drunk girl behavior.
Trash food. Yeah. I really like this scene though because it's showing. You can tell Beatrice has drank some because she's talking about her like little internal theological crisis that's going on where she's like, is he a real angel? I don't know. I think this is just part of Beatrice sharing her actual inner thoughts about Adriel. And I don't think she would have if she hadn't been drinking a lot or hadn't been a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah, she's definitely. So I guess side effect of the alcohol. She's definitely inhibited, has an inhibition happening here because this is the first hint that Beatrice is having a crisis of faith, which is huge because Beatrice is the character who
is steadfast and always.
Yeah, but when it comes to like the faith part, she genuinely believes in the faith part. Like unlike Ava, who's just like whatever. Beatrice genuinely believes in it. So for her to like be expressing crisis of faith stuff, that's huge because that's a core of who she is. So throughout this episode, really in particular, you get multiple glimpses into the fact that Beatrice has a lot of fears happening right now, a lot of different ones. This is one of them, a big one for her, is this crisis of faith thing. Because she's like, well, if he is really this thing I've believed in, then like what the fuck? Because he's a dirtbag. Like, is my whole ideology a lie? Basically, she's on the verge of having a crisis of faith. Yeah.
And actually, my note says Beatrice has her sweatshirt back on, her hair back up, except now she's her crisis of faith is showing.
Yeah, totally. So, I like again indicating that like her and Ava had another big monumental moment, and Beatrice is less hiding. You know,
because they're talking about how he's not human. Well, then what is he? And Ava's like, I don't have answers for you, girl.
Bitch, I don't know.
Bitch, I don't know. He's an asshole. That's all you need to know.
He's a dirtbag. That's their term for him.
Unfortunately for our gay party, guess who shows up?
Het baiter.
Miguel, the het bait. Miguel, aka Michael, being bad at sneaking around. And Ava wants to follow him. Beatrice is like, nah, girl, you go. I'm going to go back to the apartment. This is my next question. What the actual fuck, Beatrice?
Okay, yeah, let's unpack this. I want to see what everybody thinks. Okay. Theories or hypothesis about why Beatrice let her go. What do you guys think?
Okay. Here's my theory / hypothesis. I think that at first Beatrice was like, I really don't want to see them together and talking and stuff right now. And she's kind of like, what do? I don't want to let her go. But at the same time, Ava's going to Ava. And then she's like, okay, fine. You go. I'll go back to the apartment. But as soon as Ava's going off, she's like, nah, bitch. I need to know. And so she follows them.
So you're thinking Beatrice was like, okay, just be Ava, go after the dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's like letting it happen.
Yeah. Kaitlynn, what
but
do
at the same time being like, I can't. I have to know.
She's very jealous. That's obviously the thing. Kaitlynn, why do you think Beatrice let Ava go after the dude?
Well, at one point, I mean, she's really tired still, and she's like, I just don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
And
Valid.
Valid.
she's like, this bitch is still gonna just be straight, so I may as well just let her go with Michael.
Because
And then-
Beatrice had her eyes closed when Ava was having a realization.
Oh yeah. Again, this is Beatrice's
And
fault.
she's like, you know what? I'll just let her go. And I'll just plan with Camilla later with her machine gun and like just we'll figure out something for Miguel later.
I love that.
I know. I like this.
I love
like
that that's where you went with it. She's like, I'll get him
Yep, that's
later.
me. And then when she's like, oh, damn it, I'm supposed to be responsible for this bitch. And I still love her. So she's going to just circle back around like, oh, of course she got in trouble. What's new? And so she came down, and then I wrote, damn girl, and then she's just like, all right, back to work.
Okay, so Kaitlynn's theory is also top tier. Well done. All right,
I didn't have any idea what I was going to say when I started speaking. I made that all up right now.
It makes it more impressive.
It's so good. Okay. So you want to hear mine?
Yes, please.
All right. So I've seen a lot of agreement with kind of what you guys are saying, where Beatrice is like, ugh, yeah, she's into the dude. Fine, go get the dude. I don't think that's what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because Beatrice, drunk or not, which apparently they're not, judging by what we just saw, is super observant, right? And so when we see Miguel, he's not just like walking casually on the street. He's being creepy as fuck, like lurking around a corner and then runs around the corner. Like he's planning to do something, right? And I think Beatrice clocks that and is like, okay, go after the dude. Because her thing is like, okay, from her motivation, she is jealous, but she's like, if this dude's doing shady shit, I want her to see that and then like not be into the dude. So she's like, yeah, go after the dude. Because Beatrice is strategizing, right? That's what she does. Because it's not a coincidence. She just shows up and she's like, yep, that's what I thought. And then she's like, I gotta get Ava out of this. So I think she was doing it because of the jealousy, but for a different reason, where she's like, this seems shady. Go ahead, go see who this man really is.
Fair enough. I like that.
Because like also Ava even says it. She's like, well, he's acting weird. Don't you want to know why he's acting weird? And she's like, yeah, go ahead, go find out why he's acting weird. Like, go ahead.
Okay. I see this. Okay. Kaitlynn?
Okay. So I have a theory on why they don't look drunk.
Okay.
So they got to the bar, and I almost say Christina. Beatrice, it has to just go along with Ava's crazy plans like she always does, because you know she's in love with her, so she'll do anything for her, obviously, within reason. And Ava's like, I'm gonna get you drunk, like it's gonna happen. And Beatrice is like, what the hell, I don't want to do this, but I love her, so I gotta, right? So what they do, and they both do this, they both don't look drunk. They both like down like maybe like 2 shots, 2 or 3 at the very most. And then what they do is they just kind of like replace the alcohol with water, but they both like are doing it at the same time. They don't tell each other, and then they just like pretend like they're like full on drunk. So like anything they do could be, oh, I drank too much. So that could be like if Beatrice saw Ava's reaction to being in love with her, Ava could just be like, oh yeah, I was drunk, my mind was over there, and like my head normally. So that's why when they leave the bar, they're like, okay, all right, well, I'm drunk, but I can fully walk.
Interesting.
That's
like
why
it.
I'm here.
It makes sense as to why they're fine. Totally. And Ava's like, oh no, I didn't mean to take your sweater off and take your hair down, Beatrice. I was drunk.
But the thing is, Beatrice had
Whoops.
enough alcohol where she was
yeah.
okay to take the sweater off and have fun, but she wasn't wasted like she was going to pretend, so Ava felt accomplished.
Beatrice was definitely some kind of drunk because of the slurring conversation they have where she's like, I'm not royalty.
No, that was acting.
I don't think Beatrice was acting.
I know, but in my theory, it is.
Where did that comment come from? The royalty thing?
I don't know.
I have questions.
I feel like that was like an off-screen thing.
Or like something that got cut?
No, like they were talking about it between takes. And then they just kind of like went with it.
But I could see that.
Cameras were rolling.
I feel like it's an Ava brain thing, right? Like you were saying, because Beatrice's parents are diplomats.
Yeah.
So they're like high up for their country and their representatives. And so Ava's probably like, oh, royalty. Like, I think it's an Ava brain thing where she's like, oh yeah, you're royalty, grew up in a palace and like went to boarding school and shit. Beatrice's like, what? No. Like,
I see where Ava's brain's going.
Right, you see where Ava's brain would get there.
My brain has done that.
Yeah, and Beatrice is too drunk where she's like, what are you saying? Like, I'm a nun. Like, she can't even right now.
A secret ass kicking.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take it.
Good stuff. Also, fight scene, also great. Love it. Anytime they fight together.
This fight scene, Ava by Kaitlynn does follow him, and he's getting the shit kicked out of himself. But hey, guess what? Ava goes right on in and jumps on the ass jacket. We saw her accidentally halo push earlier in the episode, and is like, "Do you want me to beat your ass again?"
Oh, that's who that guy is.
Yeah, that's why she's like, "Want me to do that again?" Yeah.
Well, I knew she said that. I just didn't pay attention to any of the guys.
Fair enough. I do not blame you.
Yep.
So then Beatrice comes. Oh well, no. Wait. Because someone comes up behind Ava and is about to swing and hit her with a crowbar, and Miguel yells, "Ava!" And then she lets the crowbar phase through her. So, hey, he knows something funky is afoot.
Yep.
And then Beatrice comes in and starts kicking ass as well. And let me just say that all of her moves in this scene are fucking beautiful. Like, it's literally, you can see all the dance background, but also the dance. It's like the choreography of it is a dance.
Yeah, there's one scene that's really great, which contrasts Ava really nicely, because like you said, Ava is just like, oh, something's coming at me, I'm gonna phase, versus Beatrice, where there's a fist that comes at her, but she, again, is a master martial artist and just like dodges it from behind, which is pretty cool. So their skill sets are different, and I love it. It's cool in this one fight.
I love that. And not only that, she keeps a hold of that person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's fighting two people at the same time.
She's fighting two people at the same time. So she's kicking this guy's ass in the front, but also like putting the other guy that's behind her on the ground as well. Yep. And it's just
amazing. After drinking at the bar, I can't make sense of this fight, but it's an awesome fight scene.
It's amazing. But we're just gonna go with it because then this is the part I love the most. She pushes the last guy in a very purposeful way towards Ava, who just takes him the fuck out.
Yep. Tag team queens. Love to see it.
Tag team queen. Love it, love it, love it. So
then we get to Beatrice's least favorite part.
Yes, they're exposed in some way, basically. And so Beatrice is like, it's time to leave. Let's go. But of course, he's like, no chance, and chases them down. And Ava ends up trying to convince Beatrice, after Michael catches up with them, that they should, go with him and see what's happening with the FBC. And Beatrice is like, nah, man. But that's the gayest handshake ever in the world, is Beatrice shaking hands with Michael. Sweet
Yes.
Jesus.
Oh my
First of
God.
all, she's got her hands in her pockets to begin with.
Okay, so shots for bisexual Jesus for this handshake.
Yeah.
It's like okay. This is the classic like who's dominating who handshake
Mhm.
because Beatrice is like, I don't want to say hi to this dude, and then Ava's like, no, say hi, and then she's like, okay, and then does like the most masculine handshake ever, hand in the pocket, and like obviously was probably on the verge of breaking some fingers there. So she won the handshake, is all I'm saying.
She won the handshake, and she's not even
like,
looking at him
no, she's
when
like,
she
whatever.
says pleasure.
Pleasure. Yeah.
Because it's Beatrice, and she can't not say something
she's
like
British.
that.
She's British upbringing.
British.
She has to have manners even when she doesn't want to.
Yeah. So
And then I love
Ava,
the conversation here is hilarious though, because remember the point of them going to the bar was so that Ava could talk about all the Miguel stuff, and then they obviously this scene is confirmation that didn't happen. They just had fun because Miguel tells Beatrice everything that they were supposed to talk about, and she's like, "Oh, like hearing it for the first time." So I do love the detail here. The bar scene was just them having fun.
Ava is talking over Michael for a lot of the conversation because she's just like, "Yeah, no, Beatrice, get on board."
She's like, "I'm not into the dude. Listen to what he's saying.
Like, don't care about Miguel. Just let's go and figure this out. I need to get into the fray."
Oh, that is this whole scene too. Like there's that. And then after Beatrice is like fine, Ava like is genuinely thrilled that Beatrice is on board with this, because then Beatrice is like, I'm coming with you, and Ava's like, even better, like, yeah, you come with us, and then proceeds to like hang on her the rest of the scene. So it's like, yeah, Ava is trying really hard, whether she's trying or she's just like inhibited too, where she's like, nope, I'm interested in you. Like, look, I'm interested in you. Yeah, that's the whole scene. It's great. Love it.
Also want to point out this is the first appearance of Beatrice's very frustrated. Fine.
Oh yeah, that is important. Thank you for reminding us. Thank you.
Now, Kaitlynn, what did you?
Yes, Kaitlynn, what's up?
When she like tells her to say goodbye to Michael.
Oh, that happened already, but yeah, that's funny. She's like, say goodbye, and Beatrice drags Ava away.
I said this seems like B is the mom dragging her teenage daughter away from a guy at a party and telling her to say goodbye.
Like, no dude for you. Let's go.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
No dating for you unless it's me.
I just love how she's like, bye.
Say bye, Ava, and then Ava's like, bye.
It's like us at the end of our first reaction episode.
That you forced us to say goodbye. Yes.
Yeah. I love this scene. Ava's so excited. Beatrice is very not excited. However, Beatrice wins the handshake, and we get the fine.
And the Ava hanging on Beatrice.
Yes, she
literally
really
hangs
did.
all over her.
Like,
which Beatrice is secretly thrilled about. She's like, yeah.
Yeah. If she had actually been into Michael, she would have actually not minded touching him. And she really never touches Michael unless it's absolutely necessary or he initiates it.
She doesn't even look at him. She looks at Beatrice the whole time they're having this conversation.
Exactly. Like, who is Michael? Michael is here to tell us about the things that I want to get involved with beating Adriel. That's what Michael's thing is for her.
Yeah, the whole time Ava's like, listen to the words he's saying. But Beatrice is, again, her emotions are clouding her judgment a little bit. And she's like, yeah. But to be fair to Beatrice, her rationalization is pretty valid, because she's like, we don't know these people. They could have an agenda, like that Adriel has an agenda. Like, we need more information. So it's valid, but also she's like, her emotions are clouding her judgment a bit.
Yes, it's a double whammy that way.
Correct.
So Camilla
and her machine gun are back together.
Camilla has her gun, because when things get crazy...
Who gave Camilla a machine gun?
Camilla gave Camilla a machine gun.
Camilla gave Camilla a machine gun. She's obviously in charge of the armory. Didn't you see in the last season?
And the real ship here is Camilla and her machine gun.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad that's back.
She's just carrying it around casually as I think it's just a comfort thing for her.
Her comfort machine gun? Yeah, totally.
Other people have like teddy bears or a blanket or, their favorite whatever. Camilla has a gun. 100%. And It's adorable and I love it. It's the only time I ship anyone with any kind of firearm. So
America.
we're in that secret room and we see that there's the map that we saw earlier and didn't really know what the fuck was going on with it is actually the other OCS chapters. And because shit's going down, mysteriously the little lights that indicate where the chapter that someone is there and everything's cool are disappearing off of the map. And Mother Superior is like, oh, WTF, this is a coordinated global attack.
The thing I was talking to the Pope about earlier.
The
It's
Pope
happening.
on a rope, obviously not heeding my warning, and this is what happens when you don't listen to Mother Superior.
Yeah, and
you go to hell.
You get the sense from her too that she's a lot like Ava in a lot of ways, where the language she has with Camilla after this in the scene too. You get the sense that Mother Superior takes this particular situation as a personal failure because she's like, Camilla's like, you didn't, how would you have known this was going to happen? She's like, I knew it was a possibility and like, I couldn't prevent it. So she's very much still in that mindset where she puts a lot on her and a lot of the responsibility on her, which is kind of what Ava's doing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the situation is very sad for Mother Superior who basically told you so to the Pope. And like now her worst fear is playing out,
Precisely.
Yeah.
So we're back with this het bait and avatrice watching the FBC leave their little headquarter place in the alley, and Miguel says that they should wait for them to go and then go in because he stole the key. That was the whole purpose of him sneaking around, was him wanting to steal the key off of one of these FBC members. But
why don't I remember the scene?
I don't know.
This is the scene where they're just like sitting in the car and like
it's a short
scene. Beatrice starts grilling him. This is the start of it.
Beatrice is like, all right, bitch, if we're going to do this, I need to know who you are, why you're here, what's going on, blah, blah, blah.
This is who's really in charge of this mission.
Yes, it's Beatrice because she has the sense to suggest that they just follow the people that are going to do the thing instead of breaking into their little headquarters and trying to find out what they're up to.
Okay, I need to talk about that moment too, because the shot is them in the car, and Miguel is in the driver's seat, Ava's in the front seat, Beatrice is in the back, sitting in the middle, as one does when they're filming. And Beatrice, okay, like everything you just said, once she like eloquently explains why let's follow these people instead of breaking into this house because all these reasons that make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Ava is in the front seat trying so hard to conceal this smile when Beatrice wins. It's like this, yeah, that's my girl smile. Like if you missed that lip twitch thing that she's doing, go back and watch that too, because she has this very proud, like,
that's my girl.
That's hot. Go back and watch that. It's awesome. Because Beatrice is the boss of everyone.
I feel like that's what something that really attracts Ava to Beatrice, the way she just takes charge and is like, these are the reasons why we should do it this way, and that's it. Let's go. And it's like Ava's like, yes, please.
Yes, Ava likes being bossed around by Beatrice. Those are facts, and we see it multiple times. But yeah, here she's just like schooling Miguel, and like, yeah, go back and watch Ava's reaction because
also something Ava likes.
Yep. Ava's into all this.
Yes,
even though she's like, no, like mission stuff. She's like, I secretly love all of this. Because I think she knows that Beatrice is jealous too. Like she knows.
Yeah. She absolutely does. So back with Mother Superior and Camilla, guess what? There's a light comes back on the map. In Madrid. So
it's a cool map.
It is a cool map.
Cool prop.
So they have a little conversation because Mother Superior is having a bit of a crisis herself.
Totally.
Because this is everything she's really dreaded and feared for the Evers now. And she's like, we have to, get ready for the possibility that the OCS doesn't exist anymore. But Camilla, being Camilla, comes in with the no and like reaches out for Mother Superior and is like, as long as there are two of us, the OCS exists.
Oh, it's so cute.
Because I have this machine gun.
Well, 3 of us. It's so cute though. Like
It is.
it's very
I love
sweet.
it.
What a thing to say. Because yeah, this is her worst fear manifesting, the extinction of the OCS. And so to have
Yep.
Camilla be like, hey, we're still here. The OCS exists. We're here. We're here. Like,
and that's when the Madrid chapter lights up
yeah,
again.
it's a good scene.
So
between the two of
it
them.
is a good scene. I like it. Okay, so
Speaking of good scenes,
speaking of excellent scenes,
then where do we go?
Let's go find Lilith because these.
Good Lord.
I don't care about anything that Vincent says. He can.
No, who cares? Basically, what's happening here is he's like, yeah. Okay, here I can recap this if you want, real fast.
Let's go.
Basically, Lilith's there to find Mary, and then he's like, yeah. Mary's on the first cell on the right. Go through this gate. So Lilith goes through the gate. He locks the gate. She's like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, you need to accept Adriel as your Lord and Savior. If not, you gotta fight my Nazis. The Nazis come out. Lilith whips off her really nice jacket because you don't want to get that dirty. And then the most epic fight I have ever seen on screen ensues. Holy shit. This fight scene with Lilith. So amazing. I think we compared it to a video game the first time we watched it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Absolutely.
just crazy cool.
If you want to see our like first reaction to it, go and watch our reaction video to this episode because we all like freak the hell out when this happens.
It just wow. Like speaking of like fight stuff, like set the bar. This scene was incredible.
Also, incredible. Your note on the end of my notes, Kaitlynn.
I'll say it.
Okay, go ahead.
She a tiger.
With her nails and steel. Do you have anything about how they shot this or anything, Kaitlynn? Any technical?
I didn't get to see all of it. I just know that they had to do multiple passes. It was all in timing and probably took forever.
What kind of camera did they use? They had this really cool like camera on a big arm that they used to like kind of do this.
It was probably a jib. Like that's what the arm's called.
Is that what it is? It was so cool. They posted like if you haven't seen it, I think
where did they post?
Simon might have posted it on Twitter. I think like a BTS of them filming this. Not in like in a rehearsal, not like a costume in costumes, but it's this was all like because the first time we were watching it, we're like, oh, this is multiple takes, but it's not. It's one.
It's a bolt robot arm.
It's super cool, and it's like the camera like can like come in and like take close-ups and all that kind of stuff, so it like moves with them. So the way they must have had to coordinate this must have been pretty precise.
Oh yeah, it's all timing. If one person messes up, they have to redo it.
Yeah, because it's all one like sequence. It's very cool, like the whole amazing.
Oh my god, that's so expensive.
Right?
I want one.
But yeah, this was.
I just want to visit on set and just see all the cameras and stuff.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'd be so happy.
Absolutely, like very cool. Not something you'd expect from like a show that streams on Netflix, but like. Very cool shot. So hydrate for Bisexual Jesus for that shot because amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to see the raw footage.
Yeah, I would too. I want to see everything.
Totally. All right, well that's episode 1. Do we have anything else to add about episode 1?
No, wrap it up.
She a tiger roar.
She a tiger roar. All right, so now that you've go Kaitlynn.
No, I do have one thing to say.
Yes.
You can tell how much these people talk by my lighting. Notice how it's nighttime now. Continue.
Okay. Thanks for coming with us for episode 1, and it was so much fun.
Whoa. Hold on, wait. Before we're done, hydration scale time.
But we kind of did this already.
We're doing it again. We're supposed to do it at the end of episodes. This Big Witch Energy style.
Cups.
Yes. Okay, so for those not familiar, at the end of our episodes when we recap stuff, we have a hydration scale for hydrate for lesbian and shots for bi Jesus. That's what we're doing in this episode. for how much you liked it or how gay it was on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm with you, Bree. It's 8. It's an 8. The
I think I
wardrobe,
gave it a 6.
the gay stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you give it a 6, Kaitlynn?
I don't remember.
I gave.
Well,
I
rate it
mean, the
now.
look that Ava gives Beatrice alone is an 8.
I think I gave that a 6.
No, I was talking
Alright,
about
fine.
me.
I'll get but I know. Fine, it's an 8.
No,
you
it's
can-
a 6 for you.
Yeah, and why?
I don't know.
Okay, so Kaitlynn gives it a 6 because gay stuff.
That's just her.
It's in her
how
heart.
she feels.
Yeah.
No, I gave it a 6 because that's what I thought I gave it last time.
You
This
did.
is the first episode.
This is
Yeah.
the first.
I mean, I like this episode.
This episode is very good.
I will. All right, I'll give it a 7.5.
All right.
All right.
7.5.
I'm with you, Bree. I think it's an 8 for Ava's realization, Beatrice's wardrobe, the fight scene with Lilith, and overall, I think the episode itself had a good flow to it because usually, like the first episode, when they come back and there's been a time jump, we have to like get caught up on a lot of stuff, and I feel like it wasn't heavy world building wise. It just like flowed very seamlessly from like catching up with everybody to like here's the new plot stuff. So I thought it was very like seamless the way
it was.
It went. Yeah. So overall, this episode is one of my favorite ones in the whole show.
Absolutely.
Like all of it was amazing. So
Absolutely.
All right.
I love this episode.
Love this episode. Well done. Coming in strong. Can't wait to get into the rest of the season and our rest of our recap analysis stuff. Thank you everybody for joining us. We have plenty more fun with Warrior Nun to come, but for now,
Plenty of fun with Warrior Nun.
yeah.
J for By Jesus this time.
Yes, for
Shots
this
for By Jesus.
Shots
season.
for By
Shots
Jesus.
for By Jesus. Bye everyone.
Bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all of our other episodes right here on YouTube. Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing and super gay content.
Until next time, stay safe and hydrate for lesbian Jesus.